It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And also we have the Merman, who is none too happy that Top Gun Maverick has now had its release date pushed back to late May of 2022.
What the hell?
How you dealing with that, Mer?
I'm going home.
All right. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Oh, well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please support us and the growing Film Rage community by joining a membership at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage YYC. All members get special episodes and content only for members. And all members that sign up will get a special limited edition Film Rage merch item. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see it. And you know what? We'll watch it. Shout out to our U.S. listeners again. They're just crushing these Canadians. It's almost like the Olympics all over again. We're just so relegated to the B side.
That's
it's true.
Bronze
it's
medal.
true. It's true.
Movies are back at Canyon Meadows Cinemas. We are open for your viewing pleasure with great new films opening weekly. All health-regulated protocols are in effect for a safe and enjoyable experience. And don't forget, we should be your first choice for your next birthday party or special event. Can't make it to the cinema? We got you covered. Order concessions from our online store, and you can either choose curbside pickup or get them delivered via Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, or DoorDash. For more details, go to canyonmeadowscinema.ca. Here at CMC, we would like to thank you for your continued support, and we are looking forward to seeing you at the movies.
Dance.
Streaming. What?
We're streaming, Jim.
Streaming.
Alright. So, we streamed something on Netflix. In English, it's called The Trip. I don't remember what it's called. Where's it from?
Norway.
I don't know what it was called in Norwegian. The Trip is the story of a couple, Lars and Lisa, whose plans to kill each other at Lars's father's cabin are interrupted by some uninvited guests. Lots of humor, lots of violence, and more gore than I was expecting, made for quite the enjoyable journey. The film rolls along with some effective bloody slapstick and some razor-sharp dialogue. Both Noomi Rapace and Askell Henny are fantastic as Lisa and Lars, but it is Nils Oftebro that steals this movie as he plays Lars's father. The moment he arrives at the cabin towards the end of the flick sets us on one of the more enjoyable flashbacks of any film that I have seen in a while. It is 5 minutes of laugh-out-loud moments as he escapes his retirement home and makes his way to the cabin. The Trip was on its way to being Mondo anyways, but as soon as Lars' father hit the screen, there was no other way to rate this movie. The Trip was a violent, blood-soaked, hilarious movie. The Trip was Mondo.
Oh, snap. Mer, I think we should let the Norwegian go next.
Well, thank you. Okay. Well, this is quite a treat because we may actually all agree on this. I have to thank Jim for this little nugget because I never would even thought to look for it on Netflix if he hadn't mentioned it. Then when I found out, it was by the guy who did Dead Snow.
Yes.
That's all I need to know. And it was in Norwegian. Although you'll be proud of me, Jim. I actually figured out on my Netflix settings how, because it was the English dub version again, like I did with John Claude. I'm like, what the hell's up with this? So I went and checked the audio settings and switched to the original language. So I actually got it in Norwegian.
Nice.
With
the way
subtitles.
it was meant to be.
The way it was intended. That's right. Well, what else can we expect from the makers of my favorite Nazi zombie film, Dead Snow? Gratuitous violence? Check. Inappropriate toilet humor? Check. Evil Nazi? Jawohl. And it's Norwegian, so you know I was going to love it. Throw in Scandinavian comedian Nomi Ripes, and it was a bloody good time. Mondo.
Nice. Oh, Norway, how I love you so.
As
And
do
not just because they provided us Murray.
That's right.
No one does tension like Tommy Wirkola, be it with Nazi zombies or Nazi prison breakers. Wait a minute. Is there a theme here? Is there Nazis in every single one of his movies? I guess we'll have to go back and find out. This film was so original in its content, and you never knew what was going to happen. The fight scenes are probably some of the best action fight scenes ever by a wife and husband and convict together in one scene. I was just like, I want more of this. And here I thought the ref had good fight scenes. They ain't seen nothing yet. Some great gore, some amazing comedy. This has all the fun and over the top everything that we expect from Tommy, and he delivers every single time. Who knew there was a heist film that I would actually like? And damn, they threw everything in this film like almost like salt on an open wound. Hell, they even actually threw throwing salt on an open wound into this movie. And motherfucking sexist Norwegian grandpa who kicks motherfucking ass, as Bryce had alluded to, really put the Norwegian cake icing on this delicious film. Oh, did I happen to mention that the music was incredible? This Norwegian gem of murder and mayhem was Mondo.
Awesome. All right, here we go.
Mondo! 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 A rare occurrence.
How
Yeah.
awesome is that?
You know, if we've all given it a Mondo, our listeners have to realize how great this movie is.
Exactly. Something for everyone.
Yep.
All right. We did go to the theater, though, too.
Yes, we did.
Double feature.
I have a feeling we're not going to get 3 Mondos out of this one.
No.
You might get one.
You think so?
I hope not.
That will make me sad.
Prepare to be sad.
Oh, it's me. I just saw that. You let me intro this piece of crap?
Yes.
All right.
I want to make a sandwich, if you know what I'm saying.
And it's in French, too. Awesome. King Charles VI declared, the Last Duel with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. The King Charles VI declares that the knight Jean-Dic Caroget
Yes.
settled his
Perfect
dispute
French.
with Squire by challenging. Actually, that is not accurate. It was his idea, not the king's idea. The king wanted him to settle it otherwise, but he had to have a duel.
But
with
he did
Adam-
allow it. He had to allow it.
He allowed it, but it wasn't his idea. Anyway, yeah, directed by Ridley Scott and Matt Damon and Adam Driver and Jodie Comer from what the hell was that show he's in? Killing Eve or something like that. She was also in Free Guy. Yeah, okay. Let's start off with a bang here. I hate Ben Affleck.
Mm-hmm.
But why the hell would I go to one of his movies? For one, I only saw him in one small scene in the trailer. I mistakenly assumed he wasn't in it that much. Wrong.
He was not in it enough.
I was also unaware that he and Damon co-wrote the script, or I would have stayed far away from this film.
Looks like they're
But
in line for another
I
Academy
do
Award.
love my historical sword fighting movies. so I was dragged to this 2.5-hour turd burger. Okay, first off, WTF is up with Affleck dropping all the F-bombs in the movie. According to my research, yeah, I did it. The word is of Germanic Dutch origin and dates back to the 16th century.
Creative license.
This movie takes place in the 1300s.
Mhm.
Next up, location of this film and its historical accuracy is France. The armies and soldiers and knights are all French.
Mhm.
Leading actress is English, and the three main actors are American. They don't even attempt to butcher an accent or speak the language. I know how much Jim hates
Why
that.
would they?
Next up,
but Murray, you forgot to mention.
yeah,
Yet every song was in French.
that's
Which made
true.
complete
Because
sense.
the soldiers were French. The actual
Yeah.
guys doing the fighting were all French.
They're all speaking English because whereas if we're French,
Yeah.
but they're singing in French. So yeah, oh yeah,
There you
it
go.
makes complete sense, Murray.
It's the same friggin' story told 3 times from 3 different points of view
I know.
with very little difference.
It was very good.
Spoiler alert, in case you haven't read up on the actual events, the guy was guilty all 3 times from every point of view.
Yeah, but in
Other than
different
showcasing
degrees of guilt.
other than showcasing Ben Affleck's horrible lack of talent, except for when he plays a sleazy dirtbag, the point of view from Driver's character was meaningless. Middle part of this movie was pure torture for me. I did actually enjoy the first 20 minutes of the film, which was all the fighting, and the last 10 minutes of the actual duel.
The duel was
2
excellent.
hours in the middle was horrible. Major rage.
Wow.
Nice. All right, Bryce. Why don't you do your defense?
How are you getting the last word on every single thing we're doing here, Jim? I don't think I like this.
Well, I have the first word in the next movie we're talking about.
Yeah, but you just had the last word in the last one, and now you're going to get the last word in this one too.
Yeah, but
That's
don't you want a defense? Don't you want to defend Ben Affleck's
I'm going to
honor?
say the same thing. I think I need to hear what everybody's saying to defend it against everyone, because apparently you've got the same view.
Oh, mine's not exactly the same, but it's pretty close.
Not as harsh as mine, I don't think.
Mm.
All right, go ahead, Jim.
Okay, you want me to go? I'll go. Okay,
Go.
I am absolutely happy to talk about this movie. First off, I'm not sure why 2 self-indulgent spoiled brats from Hollywood thought anyone from anywhere would want to see a movie about 1300s France, but apparently the 2 completely awful acted friends for years, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, thought we should all see this.
Yes.
But not only did we have to watch this terribly crafted script once, but 3 times. I don't know if anyone told them, but nothing in 1300s France was as clean as this film made it look. And retelling this badly written and acted script 3 times in one movie got super tired after the first time. The only thing half worth seeing in this film was Adam Driver, because he is great in everying. Ben Affleck's character was ridiculous and so badly portrayed. Plus, sorry, did I say portrayed? I just meant he just was a terrible actor. I mean, I say fuck as much as the next person, but really switching from Latin to say fuck in the 1300s, first off, as Murray already alluded,
attention getter.
Happen. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't get the attention. I got this makes this even stupider.
It took me out of the decade of the time.
Well, I never got into it because 1300s France was a cesspool of disease. And they made everybody look clean and happy, and even the houses were clean. There was no filth anywhere. Like, watch a Monty Python movie first before you write a terrible script that you've written for the stupid French 1300s.
I'm not watching a documentary. I'm watching a movie.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I like to watch movies
based on a real event.
Like normally, Bryce likes to watch movies that are accurately portrayed, especially if it's a biopic.
No, not when they go in the complete other direction with their tongue firmly planted in cheek.
Yeah. No, it was just bad. I don't think anybody but you really thought this was tongue in cheek. So let me just talk about the fact that first off, seeing this 3 times was terrible enough. But the piece of resistance.
I was hoping we were going to get it from the King's point of view.
And Oh yeah, I would have thrown myself on my sword if that happened.
From the king's point of view, we could have got it from the mother's point of view. That I would have enjoyed. I think they could have had at least 5 points of view.
They could have had, because everybody was part of all three perspectives. But of course, the end of this film, was the piece of resistance, because first off, a twice knighted person,
I forgot about that,
killing machine battling against a squire would lasted about 2 seconds. And then a gushing inner thigh. Oh, sorry, is this tongue in cheek, Bryce? Maybe I missed this. But a gushing inner thigh wound that it just doesn't magically heal seconds after it's continually gushing blood. I'm guessing that might have been a major artery that he struck, because even your boyfriend Ben Affleck.
Apparently, it wasn't, because he didn't die.
Yeah, because apparently it just stopped. It just magically stopped bleeding after seconds earlier. The blood was so much that Ben Affleck had to jump from the screen and say, he's probably going to die. Yeah. So only 2 has been writers that think that this script was worth telling.
Well, let alone the hero, that's why.
Let alone telling it 3 times. This took 2.5 hours of my life. I will never forget, because it made me rage so hard. And I don't hate Ben Affleck, but in this movie he was terrible. Matt Damon was absolutely terrible.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He was the guy from freaking Mallrats.
I know.
In medieval times. The same
fantastic.
Character.
It was so absurd. It was fantastic.
I don't know. Maybe you're thinking this was made as a B film, but I have a feeling they thought it was more serious than that. I refuse to watch any interviews.
You listen to the dialogue. You really think they thought it was more serious?
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, 2 spoiled brats from Hollywood writing a script about 1300s France. Like, if you really wanted to make it funny, do it more Monty Python.
Exactly.
I do something in your
I
do something in your general direction.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what?
Big bag of rage.
So what? Sorry, I wasn't clear on this. So this was a rage for you?
It was a hard
rage. It was like I would arm wrestle Murray for a bigger rage, is what I'm saying. Yeah. I actually turned to him. I have turned to him in the second time in the retelling.
What is going on?
And I looked at Murray and I said, "Murray, please fucking kill me now.
I don't
want to live through this." And then they put the third one out. I went, "Oh my god!" And I almost threw myself down the stairs.
Yeah, no,
I was sitting at the top of the stairs.
Roll in my eyes. I'm like, "Oh my god!"
That stairs looked pretty appetizing.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the movie Clue, which I loved. But when it came out in theaters, I went to see it 3 times to get 3 different endings. Exactly what it was. The same story and just 3 different endings. That's all it was.
Could you pick which ending you saw?
No, it's random. I actually saw the same one twice.
So you kept on going to Clue hoping that you get...
Hell yeah. Well,
get all 3 endings?
They were like $5 back then.
That's the best.
This was worth watching just so you could hear that story, Jim.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, well, it was worth it just because me and Murray shared a moment of superior rage.
We did share a moment. Yes, we did.
Now please rebute everything that we said.
Please defend Ben Affleck.
If you're going to be a stickler for historic accuracy,
I am.
Then you're not going to enjoy this. The fact of the matter is, you're either going to go along for the ride or you're not. I went along for the ride. The performances were tremendous. Ben Affleck's never been funnier. He was hilarious. The only person that Matt Damon wasn't fantastic, I'll give you that, but he was still good. Driver was he just engulfed.
He ate up the screen. He ate up the screen.
He was, if I had to choose like one person that just fit, he fit.
Yes, you really nailed the point, Bryce. Is that Matt Damon didn't feel like that character?
Yeah, somebody else.
But the thing is, the writing made it so that it's okay. The writing made it so that Ben Affleck could be the clown. The writing was tremendous. This was funny. This had tremendous action sequences. It was all good. There was nothing bad about this.
Yeah, I always think of the retelling of a female empowerment film where she gets raped 3 times in the movie. That's very
exactly,
funny.
right?
I totally think that was.
Oh, and
funny.
there's one other thing that bugged me about it.
No.
Matt Damon's like twice her age. He's like in his 50s, and she's like what, 23? Like,
well, that's probably normal for
now.
back
You're
then.
finally, now you're getting into the accuracy of that era. So
I guess.
Yeah.
So, anyways, you guys got me dumbfounded. I can't believe you did not like this movie.
You're really giving this a Mondo?
I haven't given it anything yet, Murray.
Okay, tee it up.
But what I've got written down here is The Last Duel was Mondo.
Oh my freaking god!
I loved it.
I wish I still had that boo on this thing.
Yeah, where's the booze?
I don't know. It's not on this panel.
Loved it.
Anyway, you can
Yeah.
have your. Let me the last one.
Wait, isn't that a French line, Murray? Have your cake and eat it too.
Marie Antoinette. Yeah, I'm sure that isn't accurate either.
Maybe.
All right.
I just know that. Yeah, this was really
and because it was 2.5 hours long. Okay, I left early after the duel. There was still like 10 minutes left after that, where I was like some kid playing in the meadow.
Yeah, I didn't need
what the
that.
hell is that crap? That's like the end of the Hunger Games. Like, what the hell?
I honestly didn't need that, but it didn't take away from the fact that the 2.5 hours that I just had, where Ben Affleck once again was fantastic. The man can do no wrong.
If it would have been like Ridley Scott's other movie, and Matt Damon would have killed Ben Affleck, that would have made it a Mondo for me right there. Because in Gladiator, when he goes after the freaking emperor, or whatever his name is, and he kills him, that made the movie.
Emperor Palpatine?
No, what the hell is his name? The Phoenix's character.
I don't even know what we're talking about. Gladiator?
Talking about Gladiator.
Cuba Gooding Jr. and Brian Dennehy?
No, Gladiator.
Top of the head, hardest part of the body.
The Russell Crowe
the underground boxing movie.
The Joaquin Phoenix character. Was he a emperor?
No, it was Cuba Gooding Jr. and Brian Dennehy. It was underground boxing, Gladiator.
Whatever.
That's the only Gladiator that there is.
The only thing that would have saved this movie is if you would have went after the
I know of
end.
no other Gladiator. I am sorry.
Ever.
Actually, what would have made it actually maybe a meh is if Matt Damon bled out and then Adam Driver cut his head off. That would have maybe saved this movie.
Maybe.
It might have got to a very low meh.
That
someone has to rush up to the stands and kill Ben Affleck. That had to happen.
Oh no, Ben Affleck had to live on.
He wasn't
live on and prosper.
He wasn't the king. He was the king's cousin.
I know.
He was a loser.
He was fantastic.
Whatever. Anyway, yeah. So we just about missed the start of the second movie.
Let's talk about a movie. I think we're going to end this with another movie. I think we all agree on.
Maybe.
I think it's a possibility. There's a greater possibility than The Last Duel. I can tell you that. Okay.
I didn't think so going in. How could it not be Mondo?
I was hoping it was going to be Mondo.
It was.
Until I found out that those two wrote it. And then, anyway, let's not talk about it. I'm tired
talking
of talking about that throughout. Okay, so we're talking about Jamie Lee Curtis is back, baby, with Halloween Kills.
I'll talk more about Ben Affleck.
And then you can talk about that in My Rage. So, perhaps
I'm going to talk about My Rage as well.
And me.
Oh God! Not that there's not enough Ben Affleck in the movie.
Oh, we're going further than that, baby.
Oh, I kill him now. Okay, so Halloween Kills. So, Michael Myers is back, and what's her name? Jamie Lee's back.
Is she?
She's back-ish.
And
so
every
Michael Myers, I gotta respect the player, man. This dude likes to take his time. His murders are so much to killing as foreplay is to sex. Nice and slow, making the moment last. Michael Myers, I love you. This has some of the most violent and graphic kills and overkills I've seen in movies for a while. This film is totally full of nostalgia with the story ideas and the whole feel. The entire time we are at the hospital, I am chanting right along with them. Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight. and pretty much laughing at every single thing that was happening. There was so much fantastic in this film, so much mayhem. I thought this film was paying huge homage to our friend Rob Jabaz and his fantastic hospital scene from The Sadness.
I'm sure that was intent.
Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. There is a bunch of really stupid things in this film, but it seemed like it was kind of making fun of itself, unlike The Duel, including the Breakfast Club geek of the past is our super stud, Anthony Michael Hall. This comes complete with representation from LGBTQ and the Black communities. And Michael, as we know, is not a racist or a sexist. Everyone in his eyes is ripe for the killing, and everybody gets their turn. Everybody gets their turn to die. And in some of the most creative ways. I had a lot of fun watching this. Even the completely awful ending. But come on, Jamie Lee, can't you and Arnie reboot True Lies and give this franchise a rest? Your character has reached the end of its useful life. And
Never left the hospital.
What's that?
One more movie coming.
I know.
She was nowhere near the killer the whole movie. She was apparently got killed the last time, so she was in the hospital recuperating.
Well, you should go back and watch the last one. Anyway, and the way this ends, we know that there's going to be more to come. This gets a fun killing spree of nostalgia. Hi, Matt, for keeping me entertained nonstop, making them, and let's maybe not make them anymore. Could this be the last one? I know Michael Myers seems unstoppable. I think we should pick up where the Terrifier. What's that?
Next one will be the last one, but this was not.
Okay, well, that's unfortunate.
I believe it's already got a title, Jim. It's called Halloween Ends.
Oh, I thought it might be Halloween Kills Again.
No.
In 3D.
And
In 3D.
So I think they should stop making these and start making the Terrifier 2, because that's what I've been missing in my life. Clowns.
They did make the Terrifier 2, didn't they?
It hasn't come out yet. I've been waiting for it.
Oh, I thought I saw something about it.
I know that it's supposed to be coming, but it's not here yet.
I see. It's kind of interesting. Huh.
It's coming. It's not here yet.
My turn or yours?
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'll be brief, so you can go
I'm not going to be. I'm going to be pretty brief.
I'm going to keep it brief because I don't like slasher films.
Slasher films are awesome.
Did have my favorite 80s nerd in it, though. Anthony Michael Hall.
Yes.
Not just Breakfast Club. Also Weird Science.
Love Weird
And
Science.
a few others. 16 Candles.
Yes.
He's in both of them, wasn't he?
Yep.
He was
Pretty in
excellent
Pink as well. So there
Pretty
you
in
go.
Pink.
My favorite 80s nerd.
Was he in Pretty in Pink?
I'm sure he was in all of them. Anyway.
I don't know that he was. He wasn't in Pretty
No,
in
it
Pink.
wasn't. It was Ducky. Ducky was in the other one.
Okay, whatever. Anyway.
But 16 Candles, by the way, every time it's on TV, I watch it. No matter what point it's in.
You and Harold.
Yeah. Harold. Who's Harold?
Harold and Kumar. It's his favorite movie.
Oh, it might be mine. I don't know.
Yeah, Dum.
Anyway, yeah, interesting kill scenes. There was some good gore, but same lame old story. It was a bloody meh.
Nice.
And as a bonus, we had some awesomely noisy teenagers in a row who wouldn't shut the hell up.
Dropping their phones.
I don't go to horror movies on Friday nights because there's too many goddamn teenagers. That's right, I'm an old person.
You kids, get out of that Jello tree.
Right. They can't shut up and watch the movie. They got to talk. Anyway, your turn, Bryce.
Halloween Kills. It just should have been better than it was. I enjoyed the middle a lot. As soon as I wasn't enamored with the old mob scene in the hospital. That just was tedious.
I thought it was hilarious.
I just was like, oh, and I'm sorry. You've got Will Patton and Jamie Lee Curtis. I guess you're saving them for the third installment because you've got them just laying in the hospital bed for the entire movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Don't
This was
advertise
all-
Jamie Lee Curtis top bill if I get to see her for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But this is Michael Myers all the time. It was all Michael.
Yeah, no, the two that should have been the stars, well, not the stars other than Michael Myers. I mean, Michael Myers is always, they were completely underutilized. We saw too much of the daughter, Judy Greer.
Yeah.
I don't know. She just kind of annoys me, but she was fine.
Well, she won't be back in the next one. So.
I tell you, the opening I actually did like. I should go back. I think I said that I didn't. The opening was really good. I love Jim Cummings and everything he does. The fact he was fantastic in this as Pete McCabe. He was the one that got killed by the other guy in the flashback. The two cops.
Oh,
where Michael attacked and then he tried to shoot and
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he wasn't as funny as he usually is. So there you go.
He still was funny though. He had a couple of lines, but you had to really. You could see that he was like reeling it in because he just wanted to but it didn't happen. So it was just nice to see him. Anytime I see him, it always just makes me smile a little bit. Anthony Michael Hall. It's good to see him too. There's a lot of nostalgia going on with this.
Yes.
Which added to the enjoyment.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen the other 8 or how many there were, but apparently they brought back all the characters from the original.
They brought back
and they're all
of
grown up now. And they're still being haunted by the guy.
Loved the whole sequence with Big John and Little John. They were
they
were
yeah, and the tall guy was Little John.
It was so good. There was a lot of like stuff in here that was like beyond what I would expect, like so far beyond. But then you get to the hospital scene with the mob, and it's like, why? It was just everybody got in so quickly. It was so dumb. It's like it was semi-intelligent for a lot of it, which it doesn't have to be. It's a slasher film, but that was just didn't fit with everything else. It was like it got to another pace that wasn't conducive to what was going on. Did not like it. Yeah, Halloween dies.
Evil dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight. Right.
See, but they put that. I think they put the whole reason they had that whole section because it allowed Michael to relocate from locations. They needed something. They needed filler. I mean, I guess they could have had him kill everywhere along the line, but then he would have been easier to catch.
Yeah, I'm all for over the top if it's entertaining, but I guess this was for you, that part, but that part like wrecked the movie for me. Like it completely just blindsided it because it had a lot of, like, the kills were fantastic. I mean, there was a lot of, it was a bloody good time for a lot of this, as Murray said.
The knife block scene was the best. I've never seen so much overkill. It was so good.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that I'm not giving this a Mondo, all because of about a 15-minute sequence that I couldn't get past. I'm actually looking forward to the third one. I think they're going to get it right. I think we're going to get Will Patton in it. I think Jamie Lee Curtis is going to be in it. I think they're going to have major roles in it. I think that, along with every scene that they had with Michael Myers, was perfect. The way that they shoot him, the way that he moves. I love this art incarnation of Michael Myers. I am really, as you're not, but I'm looking forward to the third installment because I think they're going to get it right with the characters that they focus on in the third one, because obviously it's going to be Laurie Strode that ends this. So, meh. But so I'm optimistic about Halloween ends.
Well, I guess I will say I'm kind of more optimistic after seeing this one. Because I fully enjoyed a lot of it. It almost got to Mondo for me too. So
the whole thing was that, it's obvious that we're going to have Will Patton in it, which is going to be great. It's obvious that we're going to have Jamie Lee Curtis in these two have to have a bigger role in the third one. Do they not?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Have to. Yeah.
If they don't, then you're going to see this boy raging in a couple of years, because I will be pissed. But right now, I am optimistic about the third installment. This one was meh. But I'm hoping that at the end of this, the third one's going to be so good that I'm going to remember this incarnation of Halloween, these 3 parts, as being Mondo by the time we're all done. And you know what? It's been building. The first one was, second one was a little better, except a little sequence there. I'm hoping the third one is just going to knock it out of the park, and it could.
But I really hope that, and I feel the same way because I watched the first one of this Inception the night before we watched that one, and I felt the same thing. The one before it wasn't as good. This was much better. So it should take us on that third trip, and it should be better. So let's fingers crossed. But this was exactly what I predicted. We started with us agreeing on a movie.
Yeah,
And we ended, and then we ended it. You know what that means, Mur?
You bet.
Rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Well. French biopics written by Hollywood elite when perfectly good films like The French Dispatch could be playing. We only need one American-French movie this year, and that movie is The French Dispatch. That is my rage this week. It was kind of the same rage as last week because I'm going to continue to rage until I get to see The French Dispatch.
Well, your weekly rage, I know, is casting people who don't speak the language or are not the same country as the character.
Well,
It's a major rage.
But Murray, okay, so that is one of my major rages.
Yes.
But the movie that I really don't want to talk much about, The Last Duel, it didn't really matter because they were all speaking English to us as if they were speaking French, which is completely different than when they actually pretend that somebody can actually speak French with a French accent when they don't. That is a whole completely different thing. All these peoples were English-speaking actors speaking English as if it was French.
And they weren't even doing like a silly accent or anything.
No.
They're doing,
No, and I mean, it did annoy me as hell when they started singing in French because I'm like, that made no sense. That made absolutely no sense.
it's just a good time.
It was just stupid, just like the rest of the movie. It was just another pancake on the top of that French crepe of a rage-filled movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want French Dispatch. That's my.
I also want French Dispatch.
This week, I've been told.
Yeah, we'll see. Still limited release. Turn that music up, man. I'm not ready to talk. All right. My rage this week is the fact that Ben Affleck does not get the credit he deserves. The man has done it all in the film industry. Not only is he one of the finest actors of our or anybody else's generation, but he also is a tremendous writer and director. He has won not one, but 2 Academy Awards. One for writing with writing Good Will Hunting in '98, and one for the 2013 Best Picture Argo, which he just happened to be the director of. As a writer, he has shown the ability to write original content, as is the case in Good Will Hunting, and also he's shown a proficiency for adapting novels into movies, as he has shown with The Town, Gone Baby Gone, Live by Night, and The Last Duel. As a director, he has made 4 movies that were all mondo. The aforementioned Live by Night, Gone Baby Gone, The Town, and of course, Academy Award-winning Best Picture, Argo. And don't forget the depth and range he has on the screen as a performer. He showed early on his range and has produced stellar performances after stellar performances, and he has only gotten better as the years have gone by. He's been a delight in every type of character, from the sleazy Shannon from Mallrats to the naive Holden McNeil from Chasing Amy to the Chucky or to Chucky from Good Will Hunting, to Bartleby from Dogma, to more recently as Batman and Christian Wolf from The Accountant. And of course, his latest role as Pierre in The Last Duel. I will now ask the appropriate question. What does this guy have to do to get a little respect? That is my rage.
Well, if you're asking Murray and I, the answer is maybe leave
What does he
Hollywood
have
and
to
never
do to
come
get
back.
some
There was
respect?
no rage in that. That was
There's
just going
total
on about
rage.
Ben Affleck.
I am pissed that everybody has the opinions that you wieners do.
Everybody
Well, apparently not. They gave him
Yeah.
Academy Awards.
No,
So
yeah, they gave him Academy Awards. Great directors cast him in movies. People are begging him to be in their movies.
So I'm sorry. What's your rage? Like he's
My
obviously
rage, he doesn't
respected
get- he doesn't get respect.
by us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
Well,
rage is against you.
Oh,
okay,
you
then.
freaking bad.
Well, let me just say, I liked Ben
You,
Affleck
Murray.
in Dogma.
I'm raging against.
I liked Ben Affleck in Dogma, and I liked Ben Affleck in The Accountant. And then I liked Ben Affleck in Team America, and that was it. Those 3 movies.
What about Dazed and Confused?
Yeah, he was awful.
What?
Yeah, he
You're
really is He's really a bad actor. I'm on Team Murray.
Yeah.
He is.
He may be a great producer and a great director, but he's a horrible actor.
He is a great actor.
He's a terrible writer too. Because
He's a fantastic.
Yes.
did anybody listen or hear the
I-
entire script
Dialogue
of the
Goodwill
last?
Hunting?
You guys, they went over your
Over the
guys'
dialogue
head.
in Goodwill.
Oh.
Goodwill Hunting.
You
Yeah.
guys didn't get it.
Robin
That's
Williams
fine.
made that movie.
That's fine. Sometimes you don't get stuff.
The tongue in cheekness of a woman being raped 3 times in a movie.
Nah,
Yeah,
see,
it's just
no, no,
it's a little
you're
over my
twisting
head.
words. You're twisting my words. There
Oh, I'm
has to be
sorry.
the gravity of the situation, the gravity of the content
Mhm.
made it so that they need to add a little levity in there, and it was done perfectly.
And sorry, what was the levity? Oh, right. The script was so bad it was funny. That's what we should have noticed, Murray.
Oh, I
That it
love
was
this.
so
Love it.
bad it was funny.
Then I guess I missed the
you
joke. 'cause I
not
just
you know
thought it
not
was
of what
bad.
you speak. It was fantastic.
Yep. A2 Brute.
Whatever.
A2. There's some Latin for you.
Rage. Subside. Pulse. Slowing. Anger fading.
Hey everybody, George here, host of the Best Little Horror House in Philly, the show where we talk about the best horror movie ever made, according to our guest at least. It's a real fun show where every episode I agree that the movie our guest chose is the best, and we get into where their love of horror started before discussing the movie in detail, the background, the themes, specific call-outs, before ultimately summing up why it's not just good, but it's the best horror movie ever made. And we've had some incredible guests ranging from horror icons like Caroline Williams from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Rick Summer from Summer of '84, and Anthony DeBlasi, director of Midnight Meat Train and Last Shift, all the way to some of my favorite comedians like Neil Campbell, Jeff Dutton, Betsy Sidaro, Joe Wangert, Tim Kalpakis, and more. So listen to the Best Little Horror House in Philly wherever you podcast and ask yourself this.
What's your favorite scary movie?
And let's not forget Bryce Hollingsworth and Jim Evans.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
guests multiple times. on
And
this podcast.
part of the reason that I wanted to make sure we promo George this week is because the the Japanese Cube is coming out, I believe, this weekend.
There you go.
So even though we're not probably going to get to see it in cinema, hopefully we'll be able to at least see it on VOD. I'm praying that we can see it somewhere, because we have an open invitation to George whenever it comes out that we can both see it, that he's coming back on our show, and it would be awesome if he could make it for our Halloween special.
You're being
Yep.
very optimistic that this could happen.
I would be in so much joy.
I hope it does.
You never know.
Yeah. George, we love you, buddy.
All right. Well, Bryce should be happy. I'm not going to be talking about Ben Affleck this week, much as I really wanted to rage. Well, not much anyway. There's plenty of rage on the minute this week, most thanks to Ben Affleck and Matt Damon's latest box office flop, The Last Duel. It's no secret how much I despise Affleck, but I'm not crazy about Damon either. His movies are pretty much hit and miss. Since I can't really go after his good movies, I'm going to focus on his biggest box office flops. and there are quite a few.
All right.
Start with Stuck on You, 2003, the Farrelly brothers,
Yeah, it was all right.
co-starring Greg Kinnear.
It's funny.
Conjoined twins from Martha's Vineyard moved to Los Angeles so that one of them can pursue an acting career. One of them. They're conjoined.
I know. It's funny.
Nice.
Budget was $55 million. It made back about 2/3 of that.
Yeah,
So that wasn't the total.
but it
flop,
made me
was-
laugh.
Yeah, I guess that's the important thing then. Next up, we have The Legend of Bagger Vance,
Yeah, I liked it.
2000. Robert Redford directed that one, starring Will Smith, Matt Damon, and Charlize Theron.
I know.
Down and out golfer attempts to recover his game and his life with help from a mystical caddy.
It's good.
Budget was 80 mil, and it made about 30.
Nice.
But it entertained me.
Next up, we have Titan AE, granted an animated movie. Dawn Blues,
Yes.
co-starring Drew Barrymore, Bill Pullman, and John Leguizamo.
I don't like this
It
one.
was great.
Budget was
Oh.
75 million. 75
$75 million
for a cartoon?
for a cartoon.
Must have been
Wow.
all that high-priced talent.
Yes.
And it grossed about 22 mil.
That is gross.
Young man learns he is to find a hidden Earth ship before an enemy alien species does in order to survive. It's good survival of humanity. A miss to me. Then we have The Great Wall. Co-starring Matt Damon and Pedro Pascal and the Chinese people.
Yeah, it was funny.
150 million dollars it cost.
Yeah, but it was funny.
Made back 45, and I read that they had to have over 100 interpreters
It was funny
on
though.
the set. I don't think that was the intent.
No, but it was.
European mercenaries in China encounter a secret army that defends the Great Wall of China against a horde of murderous creatures.
I know. Even the premise is funny.
Then we got Downsizing.
I love
2017.
downsizing.
Alexander Payne,
Yes.
co-starring Matt Damon, Christoph Waltz,
And
Hong Chow. I don't know
yes,
who else is in it.
I love her.
So that's a woman. Okay. Budget was 68 million, and it made back 24. Social satire in which a man realizes he would have a better life if he were to shrink himself to 5 inches tall.
I loved it.
It looked interesting.
Mondo.
I missed that one too. Like
It was a
nobody.
meh.
Mondo.
And then last we have Green Zone 2010.
Okay, Green Zone. sucked.
Paul Greengrass, starring Matt Damon, Greg Kinnear, and Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah, it was bad.
$100 million budget, and it made back about 35 mil. Discovering covert and faulty intelligence causes an army officer to go rogue as he hunts for weapons of mass destruction in an unstable region.
Yeah,
Isn't that like one of the 3 plots of the Bourne movies?
it's just bad.
This brings us to his latest collaboration
It was like Born
his,
Light.
his lame-o BFF Affleck, The Last Duel.
Oh, it's
Budget was over 100 million, and it made 4.8 last weekend.
we're in COVID
You
times.
can blame some of that on COVID, but the theaters are fully open now. Halloween made like 50 mil. Maybe people saw the trailer and decided to avoid it. I sure
Maybe because
had.
it's maybe because they knew it was going to be awful, and
Exactly.
it was.
It was good.
I'm sure Damon will bounce back in his next movie. And hopefully, I convinced you to not just go blindly to any movie that Damon or Affleck are in, because they make a lot of crap. All I got.
I liked most of those. There's 2 that weren't
Yes,
so
not
good.
surprising.
A couple of Mondos in there.
The audience doesn't think so.
There's a lot of meh, I think, in that. To
Yeah,
be quite
there was.
honest.
There
To be
was.
quite honest. So we have to make an announcement because we may have to
I'm interested in
rethink.
this. I don't understand what you're talking about.
Well, okay, so Bryce put Christopher Walken on the mesmerizing list, and he's been off for quite some time.
What?
Yeah, he was removed because he was in the movie 9 Lives, which is the worst movie ever made, in my opinion. And under the thou shalt take Kevin Spacey off mesmerizing because he was in, what was that terrible movie again? David Gale or something like that?
The Life of David Gale.
Right. So you removed Spacey, so I had to remove Christopher Walken off
I don't
of the
remember that.
list.
Did you
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, I did a long time ago. So the
I thought
question
Bill
that
Murray was in 9 Lives.
no, well, maybe I forget, but Christopher Walken was definitely in it. He was definitely the best thing in it. But to your rule, you cannot be mesmerizing if you're in the worst movie ever. It's just a rule. So yes.
Rule?
So the question we have to pose is if we go back in time to last week, because he's not mesmerizing, he couldn't
Well, then we gotta
technically take out Johnny Depp. But Johnny Depp was so terrible, we should just remove him because he was so awful in that movie. It's like proof that he's not mesmerizing.
Well, we can remove him right now by just no. What are you talking about? What
So last week, when we removed Johnny Depp, because we all
Yeah.
agreed Christopher Walken was more mesmerizing, except Christopher Walken isn't mesmerizing on our mesmerized list, so he can't take somebody out that isn't. But we still could take
I've
Johnny
got
Depp out.
a whole list of movies that Christopher Walken you can just take people out left and right. Like we can get this list down to like 10.
Except Christopher Walken isn't mesmerizing anymore.
Well, this is crap. How am I going
Yeah.
to get this list down if I don't have Christopher Walken to be knocking people out left
Well,
and right?
well, now we only have 2 people to vote on for this
Like
week.
I seriously have a whole list of movies where I can knock out like 30 people.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna have to find somebody.
They're all going up against Christopher
And
Walken.
now we've got to
I
talk
guarantee we're all
about.
going to go walking every time, but apparently he's
I'm
not
sorry.
on the mesmerizing list. I don't remember any of this.
Yeah, well, Kevin Spacey should also be on the mesmerized list, but apparently he
No,
can't be
he
on.
was in The Life of David Gale.
And Christopher Walken was in 9 Lives. There we go. So
Yeah, but two different types of movies.
doesn't matter.
Nine Lives
One
is
is
supposed to be funny. You give
Murray
comedy
also can have his least favorite
comedies
movie.
get slack. You get
that?
slack with comedies. You get slack with comedies. You do. You get a
It's
little
a-
slack.
No,
When you're making a serious
No.
movie like Life of
No.
David Gale and it ends up being
No.
so stupid, it's enraging, then
No.
there's no excuse for that.
no,
If you're just trying to be
it's-
funny
It's
and you
not
miss
a
the
rule.
mark,
No,
Right.
it's not a
Funny's in the
rule.
eye of the
It's
beholder.
no.
so you
He's
can be
gone.
for funny.
No, he's off. Unfortunately, he can't unmake that movie.
But it
and
was
he
a
did.
comedy.
So now we only have to decide between William H. Macy and Morgan Freeman. But do you want to double check to make sure Morgan Freeman's even on our mesmerizing list? Or did you just imagine that he was on our list?
I have no idea.
You should probably know who's on our list before we
Oh, you
start
guys are
removing.
updating him because I just went by whatever was on the website.
Yeah, website says Morgan Freeman, doesn't it?
I don't know. I'm looking at it right now, but it was when I printed it off.
There you go.
But so is Christopher Walken.
So
No, Christopher
he was on
Walken
at
is
one point,
not.
right?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
when I
they
printed
both
it
were.
off. When I printed it off, he was on.
There you go. Murray has confirmed that he was on.
So maybe it's an error on the website.
There's like 9,000 names on it.
Yeah.
And now apparently I can't knock any of them out.
No,
because-
Morgan Freeman is not on our mesmerized list. What are you talking about?
Here he is.
Look at our website.
I'm making up stuff now.
Well, then why? We can't even debate this week then.
What are we debating?
Well, we could put Morgan Freeman on the list, and then we can vote.
What did we do?
You guys said it was all. There was 3 of them on there.
Who?
I don't know. I have it with me. The
Didn't we
last-
already do
Christopher
maybe?
Walken.
Nice. No, that's this week.
Oh, is it?
Yes. And you just said Christopher Walken is no longer on there. Morgan Freeman isn't on there.
Yeah.
And Macy wins by default.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Apparently,
This is so complicated.
yeah.
Okay,
It's not.
I think we
it's
have to
not
go
that-
through this list again and just.
It's not that complicated. You just have to look at
I
the
want
list
to
before you
re-vote on the
choose.
list.
No, we're not.
I want
do it
to.
right now.
I want to re-vote on the list. I want to take next week. I want to take like 7-8 minutes where we all just say the name and bang bang boom. We say yay or nay
It has
because
to be
I have a
unanimous.
feeling if we go back over this list again, we might not.
It has to be unanimous.
The
'Cause it's
list
being-
is.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're gonna lose a lot because we put a lot of these on.
I wasn't around. Not even
Yes, but
Yeah, they are.
Murray, you can't judge them based on TV shows. You have to judge them based on movies.
movies I've seen that I like or don't like them in.
There you go.
Well, it doesn't even matter if you like the movie. It's whether you find the actor mesmerizing.
Yeah, unless
You
it's
gotta
the worst movie
differentiate.
ever made.
Anyway,
Unless
so
it's the worst
we're-
movie ever made.
Anyways, this is making me sad.
Yeah,
Move on.
it's making me sad that that I had to watch that terrible movie that you told us to watch.
How bad was it, eh?
It
I knew it was
so bad.
awful. I remember how bad it was, and then I watched it again. I was like, oh, I didn't remember how bad it was because it's even worse.
But okay,
awful.
so William H. Macy was definitely by far the most mesmerizing. The other two were just duds.
Oh no, Christopher Walken.
Oh, he was awful.
What are you talking about? So who did you? Morgan Freeman, Murray's got. So apparently
They would have all stayed, but they're all gone. But William H. Macy anyway.
All right, so they all stay. So Morgan Freeman and Christopher Walken are on the mesmerized list.
No, they are not on the mesmerized list. So
y'all disagreed.
Nice.
That means they're
But
still on.
They have to be on the list in the first place. Well, this was just the best lists episode ever.
All right, let's move on.
So next week we're going to go through the entire list and blast through it.
Okay, let's do that.
Next week.
Yay or nay?
Yep, yay or nay next week, people. Murray's going to be the big veto.
Yeah,
that's right.
I don't care. At this point, I don't care. I'm gonna be sad afterwards because Murray's gonna get rid of a bunch of people that we got on just because he wasn't here.
Yep.
But whatever.
Try to
That's the rules. Me. Yeah, I'm sure you're looking at the list and going, "Oh man."
He has to. If he takes somebody,
they're gone.
If he takes somebody off the list, though, he has to tell us which movies he saw them in.
Movie? Okay, yeah. I will do that.
It's got to be an educated veto.
Yes. So you can't just veto because you don't like their name or what they look like or where they're from. You have to have seen movies with them in.
All right. And I don't have to see all their movies though, because that's not gonna happen.
No. Just have to see enough to know that they're mesmerized or not.
All right then.
This is going to be so exciting. I think we should just do that for our whole episode next week.
Last week on Rage or Dare, Jim and Bryce pulled a comedy with Tommy Lee Jones. Apparently that's a thing. When they pulled Man of the House
kind of funny
from My Creamy Ice Bucket of Rage. This week, Bryce rides the Rage train alone. Let's check in with him to see if he also needed to use subtitles to understand what Tommy Lee's saying. Or was it so funny that he didn't even need them? Say you.
I don't know. Man of the House, 2005. You know what? It opened up. There was so much action that they actually had to do like a split screen. Did you see that? It was like the first.
Oh, I will talk about that for sure.
It's just like there's too much action to contain in one shot. They had to like do like 7 minutes straight of split screen. I mean, what an awesome start to this movie. I could hardly contain my excitement as I darted my eyes back and forth between the tremendous amount of ridiculousness what was going on. Yeah, Texas Ranger must he's protecting a group of cheerleaders that like witnessed a murder. Is that what that's what it was? It was dumb.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, no, I watched it. Hey, I knew about the split screen. Don't get that off of IMDb.
Did you fall asleep before or after?
I watched this at about 11 a.m. and I was wide awake, unfortunately. Because had I fallen asleep, this would have been one of those times where I would not have rewound it and watched it again. I would have said, yeah, I saw it. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't have. I would have admitted to not seeing it. I'm just babbling because there's nothing here. It's Tommy Lee Jones. We get Cedric Entertainer was actually mildly amusing in this. Sort of as amusing as he can be. Anytime I get to see Ann Archer, she played Professor Molly McCarthy. I love Ann Archer. Just seeing her was kind of nice. Her role was like nothing, but I liked seeing her, liked hearing her voice. She's pleasant. I enjoyed her. Arlie Ermy is always awesome as Captain Nichols. He was in it for like 2 minutes, but those are 2 good minutes. So
it's Honda.
You get Shea Wiggum as Ranger Holt, a very young Shea Wiggum here. He is what he is. He's always good. It's like there's some quality actors in here, and of course you got Tommy Lee Jones, but then you got a bunch of these girls that they were all so annoying. Was I supposed to sympathize with them? I don't know what I was supposed to do.
No, I believe you wanted to see them all dead.
Oh, then maybe that's yeah. I missed the point. Maybe. So yeah, this was a rage, and that was my finest review ever.
That was the best review you've ever done. So the first thing that I need to say,
There was so much action, and they did have split screen.
yeah, there was, that I did not need subtitles for the entire movie. Because apparently Tommy Lee Jones didn't need them.
When he gets older.
But the
Then-
second thing of note is that Tommy Lee Jones is also not funny. The third thing of note
Did he
is
say one thing?
is yuck. Is
Yuck.
this movie's yucky? And what the fuck is with the split screen at the beginning?
Gave us something to talk about.
Yeah. Well, okay. So initially I was like, hey, what's going on? But after I started thinking about it, it doubled up the shots and got the movie over faster. So that was good. So let's recap the good things in this movie. Number one, Tommy Lee Jones spoke perfectly enunciated English for most of the movie. The times that I didn't understand him, it wasn't really that important what he was saying. Number two, why am I stuck on this about number two? Number two.
Because it was poopy.
Number two. Oh, sorry. Right. Number two. This film is a number two, as you said, Bryce. Right. Split screen sped up this film, which also made it end faster. That is another good thing that happened in this. And that is it. Oh, wait. There was one good song. But otherwise, this film was painful to watch. In the first 15 minutes, you knew exactly everything that could or would or did happen. But you just had to wait till it all happened. But the dialogue was so completely awful, the masochist in me was taking deep, penetrating pleasure from every torturous, painful line struck against my consciousness. Ooh. Ooh. I have what Bryce was having. The complete and full masochist in the relationship that our dominatrix and sadist in this dual-sided S&M relationship, Murray, you should be needing to clean up your underwear with the amount of pleasure, the sadistic torture you inflicted on us. You must be just had a major joygasm.
I
Murray,
believe the point.
you always give us a good time. Because apparently Bryce and I are masochists, and you are the saddest in this relationship. Was it as good for you as it was for me? Because there was so much rage for a full hour and 40 minutes. I was getting so much pleasure from this rage. It was so awful. I'm kidding. It was so painful to watch. Also of note, I can't understand why Tommy Lee Jones did this film, as he has no scruples. But R. Lee Emery, he's done
Yeah.
Kubrick. I thought you would make better choices.
But it was fun seeing him. I like
It
seeing him.
was. He's the
I wish I
best.
saw a bit different movie, but
I went and saw Stanley Kubrick's War movie right after I watched this, just to get that movie out of my head.
Your ballot.
mm,
Yeah, it was so good, and he was awesome in it. It was awful. All right, well, what's Bryce going to have to watch next week?
what?
Yeah,
I think it's
listening?
your turn next week.
Mm-mm. It's not. Oh, wait, what does he got to pull from, Mur? Is he going dare bag or?
This is Rise of Rage Train.
I don't really care. You choose, Mur. What should I go with?
Darebag.
Dare bag.
Oh, it could be a pleasure experience.
He says dare bag.
He does like a lot of them, apparently.
All right, here we go. So this is a fan bag. Is that the truth? Is that am I
Yes.
speaking
Yep.
the truth here?
That is what it
Okay,
says.
Murray confirm that I have one thing in my hand.
Sure.
And it is already seen it. Haven't I?
I don't know.
Maybe not. Leonard Part 6, did I already watch it? Or am I confusing it with Pluto Nash?
Might have been Pluto Nash.
What was it? Number 6? What?
Leonard Six, wasn't
Leonard
Leonard
Part
Six,
6,
Bill
Bill
Cosby.
Cosby.
No, you have not seen Leonard Parts.
Pluto Nash was Ed Murphy.
You have not seen it.
Leonard Part 6 was Bill Cosby back in his heyday.
It's good. So, all right, I gotta watch this with a.
Yes, you do.
So, I mean, I don't know. How can I objectively watch this after all the Bill Cosby crap?
Well, that's going to be a challenge for next week's episode. But we can say, hey, you kids, get out of that Jello tree.
That's right.
Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Some super rage love to our members, Julene from It Goes Down in the PM podcast, James and Philip for their continued financial and moral support. Thanks to the extended Film Rage crew of Leonard Conlon, Bex Goose, Tony, and Nat for their artistic contributions to our show. You can find their homes on our show notes. Thanks for our sponsor, Canyon Meadows Cinema. Please go and support your local independent cinemas near you as they desperately need your help as we come out of COVID. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Film Rage YYC. Follow us on Audea, AUDEA.io, and search Film Rage YYC for bite-sized film reviews. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for our Redbubble and TeePublic. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send an email to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare to see terrible movies to feel our rage, but no matter what you do, please make us rage, because we love it, because we're masochists. That's it for this week. Rage on!
Rage on!